Today, we're going to talk about a simple way to overcome feelings of discouragement when other people are doing better than you on their debt-free or financial journey. I put up a post about my goals for a month on Instagram, and it highlighted me going on my debt-free vacation, a cruise to Mexico, and also hoping to save 40% of my income. And it was admittedly a very good month for me. A culmination of a lot of hard work and sacrifice that wasn't immediately apparent in the post. I got a response from a mom asking, "How in the world do you save 40% of your income? I'm a single, full-time working mama and I could never do that. Sorry." My heart was broken. I could feel that person giving up, at least for that moment, saying, "Why would I even try when I will never reach that level?" But I understood exactly what was happening. It's impossible to represent your whole story in every post. I can't even try to do that. And it's also important to celebrate your wins, which is what that post was about. But that someone came to my page and that's where they landed and that it discouraged them, this made me feel a very familiar hurt very deep down inside. The debt-free community online hadn't really started when I was starting my journey 5 years ago. But I absolutely remember seeing people with 100,000 plus incomes scream on Dave Ramsey's show after paying off $80,000 to $90,000 in like 3 to 6 months because they could just sell an asset or live frugally for like a little bit. And it felt very unrelatable. I was making $1,600 a month and had $33,000 in debt. My minimum payment of $313 a month on my student loans was crushing me to death, it felt like. Cutting everything that made my life even a little bit bearable put me at paying off debt in 6 years. I was not spending all my money, or even literally any money, on avocado toast or coffee. I was just above the poverty line and regularly eating potatoes or rice for dinner. I could get mad at the high earners, but that wouldn't do anything. The only action that I could take that would do anything was to work with what I had, to celebrate these small victories and to work myself towards a goal. So I started putting my journey out onto the internet because I didn't see anyone there that was in my situation. Single, low income, paying off debt. I was a newspaper reporter in Louisiana making $26,000 a year pre-tax, living in a 500 square foot apartment in a very bad area that costs $400 a month to rent. I worked to get extra income any way I could. Extra hours at work. I got a job delivering pizzas until 2 a.m. Did secret shopping for companies where I'd go test fast food and time how long it took to get it and counted the chicken tenders and all that stuff, and it helped feed me as well as gave me a little extra income. We're talking $6 to $12 or so here. I was not making bank. I made making money my hobby, which included this YouTube channel. I tracked every spare penny and put it at debt, and it came out to $10,000 that year. $10,000 paid off on $1,600 a month because I decided that every penny and every minute of my time could get me closer to a goal. At the same time, I lowered my variable expenses as much as I could, meal planning based on store sales, making sure that I was never wasting any food, and definitely not eating as healthfully to save money. But it was a season of life and I got through it. After about 18 months of working very hard where I was, I found a new job making more, $30,000 pre-tax, as a newspaper editor in a new state, and I moved as cheaply as I could and started all over again. I put all the new extra money I was making from my salary towards debt, continued to side hustle, adding horse trading and reselling to my hobbies, found new ways to save and earn more, and hating the area that I was in, started job searching again. After just over a year in Arkansas, I was so close to debt freedom. With just $5,000 left, I started thinking about changing careers. Journalism was never going to pay well. The hours and the benefits suck. And I was young enough and filled with enough moxie to switch careers. I started looking very intentionally at doing communications work. So still writing, taking pictures, dealing with the media, but at a university. I thought about where I wanted to live, and I decided on a mid to large size city in the South because I hate snow, and started applying in Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. After getting through the final round and not being offered a job in Houston, I got a position in College Station at Texas A&M, where I've now been for a little over 2 years. I make $44,000 a year and save 40% of that income, and also have amazing benefits, including a 6% retirement match, fully covered healthcare, and a good working environment. My life is not perfect, but it was intentionally built to be something that I love. All the work I did along the way made it possible for me to baby step myself into the position I am now. I couldn't have learned to invest smartly when I was in $33,000 worth of head and barely keeping my head above the water. Financial mastery is both a skill and a muscle. You have to learn it. It is not something you are born with. Now here's the thing. To be successful, you can't compare your beginning to someone else's middle or end. Comparison truly is a thief of joy. And it's hard because we're on social media, and when we're screaming yay about our wins, we want to support each other and lift each other up. But at the same time, when you're having a hard time and you see someone else winning, it's very easy to say, why couldn't that be me? And hopefully it will be one day. There's a mindset that successful people have, which takes inspiration from people in better situations and focuses action on your own situation. You have to be able to take ideas and tweak them to apply to your life, and I still have to do that. I'm lucky enough to be in a space where people are killing it financially. I know people who are millionaires, have a dozen rental homes, businesses that sell thousands of dollars worth of products, books, etc. It would be crazy easy for me, even though I'm happy with my life and working with what I have and have built, to get discouraged and say that I'll never be that. They had these advantages that I'll never have, and I might not. But once again, getting angry and giving up is not going to get me there. The only choice I have is to use what I have and where I am to take baby steps into the direction that I want to go. I can't fly to the finish line. I'm not gonna win the lotto because I don't play. We're talking turtles winning the race here. It's the only way to seriously achieve. Waiting for a better time or situation is not going to happen unless I walk myself there one step at a time. Let's talk about some times that I've felt jealous lately or discontent because of comparison. My friend Amanda from Debt Free in sunny CA posted about potentially buying a fourplex in Texas, which costs about $500,000. It is my dream to own a duplex one day and to rent out the other side and maybe eventually move up into higher homes. But with just my income, I could barely afford that here, much less a fourplex in Austin. I could get mad and say that it's unfair that she has a higher income than me, or she's married so she and her husband's combined income is better than mine single. But A, mad doesn't help anyone. And B, she worked hard for that income. She put herself into a situation where she can't afford that, and I'm thrilled for her. Honestly, I picked her for this because I don't know her entire story. We've met at FinCon, and I followed her online for a long time, and I really like watching her dogs, who are so freaking cute. And I just adore her, but I don't know the specifics of the income level she came from, how hard she worked for it, what opportunities she might have had, but it also doesn't matter. What matters is how I choose to respond to those feelings of jealousy and discouragement. The jealousy I can dismiss. It only sticks around if you fuel it. How I respond, I can also control. Firstly, I am so happy for her, and I can cheer her on and celebrate her awesomeness. That helps me and her. Second, I want to own a home and rental property one day. I can choose to use her as an inspiration to continue working towards my goals and learn from her as I move forward. Just because I'm not ready now doesn't mean that I can't pick up some knowledge. By following her trailblazing awesomeness, I can learn from her mistakes and win where she failed. This takes nothing from her, by the way. I love it when people learn from my mistakes. That's why I talk about them. It honestly makes me feel better about me screwing up, because often it turns into less of a loss if I feel like I was able to help someone else avoid it. When you feel discouraged from someone else's story or numbers, try this mental shift. Ask yourself, can I be happy for them? Seriously, anger and jealousy are dream killers. It sinks down into your soul and poisons your self-confidence. And you need your self-confidence to win in life and with money. Second, ask, how can I apply what they're doing to help me? This doesn't have to be specific tips, but maybe a scaled version of an idea or a mindset. Trailblazers are great. If you can blaze a trail, do it. But most of us can sincerely benefit from people in better positions with more resources and more money to inspire us to work towards our goals. Try not to be discouraged by someone else's numbers. Tell yourself to shift your mindset and use it to fuel yourself forward. Your future self will thank you for it. If you've ever felt discouraged on your money journey, hit the like button, and as you do it, make yourself a promise to redirect those feelings next time. If you would like to learn more money tips from a completely imperfect person who has baby stepped her way to a life of financial freedom, hit subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye.